IRS audit rates are on the decline, but what does this mean for your business? In 2025, IRS lost 27% of their workforce within the first 3 months. So what does this impact really mean? Here's what's to come. The IRS is going to engage in more correspondence audits. So what that means is there's going to be more letters requesting information and potentially denying deductions and changing other items on your return. Whereas this was previously, more of this was done in person with a revenue agent who would come to your business and communicate with you. You'd have a person to talk to. A lot more is going to be done by letter. And I can tell you, we've had a lot of correspondence audits, and they are harder. You've got to communicate information in writing. So you've got to be clear. You've got to make sure you're responding to what you think the IRS is asking. Sometimes their letters asking for certain information, it's confusing. Ultimately, they're looking for one thing, but they're asking a bunch of questions that will lead to that decision. So you got to figure that out and be able to write clearly, which most likely is going to mean you're going to have to hire somebody experienced, a CPA, and preferably even a tax attorney who can understand the legal issues and understand what the narrative is. The other thing the IRS is going to be using more is AI to find errors. And of course, that's going to cover more potential problems on the face of the return. So be prepared for that. What it means for you as a business owner, you're going to have better record keeping. You're going to have to make sure that you have your invoices and your documentation stored in a place you're going to be able to find it in a couple of years after you file your return. The IRS generally has 3 years to audit an income tax return, 3 years from the date of filing, but they usually don't audit it the very next year. They might wait a year or even 2. And that means you're going to have to keep these records in a safe place, preferably digital, so you can have access to them, and you're going to have to store them, correctly name the documents, make sure they are complete. Other things to come? Well, because the filing season is upon us, or we're in the middle of it really, and every year is going to be a little bit more difficult, it could take longer for the IRS to process returns, process refund claims, and let's not forget about the ERC. The IRS still has a backlog of 1.4 million ERC claims. They're hoping to be done by the end of 2025, no guarantee, and the further reductions in force because there are a lot more IRS employees have voluntarily resigned and or retired. A lot of good talent is left. It's just going to take longer to get things done. And there was something very interesting that the Treasury Department did a study on the IRS and found that the IRS is only responding or being able to pick up 16% of all phone calls that comes in. So remember, it's great. People are thinking the audit rate is going to go down, but what it's going to be is more difficult for people. When they have a question, they need to get some information from the IRS. It's going to take longer. The refunds are going to take longer. Anything that's complicated where the IRS has a question, communication, more of it's going to be done by correspondence. So it's just going to be put more of a burden on the business owner, who's now going to have to really pay more to have a tax attorney, preferably, respond to those letters so to make sure they get the right response from the IRS and the right outcome. I'm John Milikowsky, founder of Milikowsky Tax Law. If you found this information useful, please subscribe to our video, share and like it. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for new topics, we're here to listen and we will respond. Thank you very much.